Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and let's kick off Fan Fridays with the battle from Andrea, and this actually looks like it's going to be pretty cool. I see a Snorlax, I see a Drifloon, fan of Umbreon, Luxray, you don't see it too often, but still good Pokemon to see, and it's going to be Rotom Luxray. This could be funny if, like, they both double Volt Switch. That would be one of the greatest openings ever. I don't think I've ever seen, like, a U-turn Volt Switch, double Switch out shenanigans, but let's see how this goes. So that is going to be Volt Switch from the Luxray, and that means that Rotom would have the advantage if it Volt Switch, because it would be able to make the counter pick. But that's going to be an Umbreon, and Rotom just going for the damage on that Hydro Pump. So pretty solid hit right there. Hydro Pump does land, and does a little over a third. Leftovers is going to patch up some of that damage. That is some serious damage onto Umbreon, who wants to be more of a tank, but because it does have Curse and stuff, it can still set up. Rotom going to Volt Switch out, and going into Espeon. This could get weird, and that's why I was like, wait a second, why would you go Espeon into a Dark-type Umbreon? Like, normally you would think that that's not going to work out, but this is funky right here, because it's going to be Magic Bounce. It's Toxic Magic Bouncing, but then Synchronize getting the Toxic onto Espeon. Wow, that was actually a really good play by the opponent, because Toxic on Espeon is still not going to be as bad as Toxic on Umbreon. Espeon might stand for a couple turns, just be damage, maybe light screens. Umbreon wants to be in for a very long time and just wall out the team, and it's not going to be able to do that while it's Toxic. So, gets the Toxic prediction, switches out Espeon, and goes into the Ferrothorn. That's just brutal right there, but Umbreon does switch out as well. That's just a ruthless play, though. Trying to figure out what Umbreon could really do. Like, the rest of that matchup is really interesting, because it just means that Umbreon doesn't get a chance to stall against the Espeon. So, Fire Punch, going to be monstrous damage against that Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn decided to stick it out, and Rocky Helmet, Iron Barb is going to be big. Goes for the Stealth Rock, so that's just not good at all. Snorlax taking a good amount of damage. Stealth Rock's getting set up. Ooh, the Withdraw on that Ferrothorn. So Snorlax just got a lot of damage and goes for the Body Slam. I believe, folks, people, we have an offensive Snorlax. I guess like hit points, attack, investment, that's crazy. And it's doing work. I mean, did you see the damage on the Rotom? Going to outspeeding Rotom. Something feels off here. So gets the outspeed. Is it just attack speed maybe? So we get the outspeed on Rotom, we get damage, 2-hit KO the Rotom, almost 1-hit KO the Ferrothorn, goes into Conkeldurr, and Snorlax doesn't want a piece of that. Mach Punch, very threatening, and goes back into the Luxray. Wow, so Snorlax has already done more than enough. It took out a Pokemon, almost took out another one, and it's still around. So Snorlax it's already good. It's gotten its +1 and more, so Snorlax has done a lot of work, and it's not even on that stockpile. That's pretty big, and the Body Slam would have most likely KO'd Ferrothorn regardless. Body Slam, very strong on that Snorlax, but you can get walled out by Ghost types if it is your own move. So it's going to be a Volt Switch after the Power Punch from the Conkeldurr, and goes into Drifloon. Okay, Cupcake, that's a great nickname for a Drifloon. Power Punch, not going to do much, and Conkeldurr actually switches out. I was thinking it might want to go for the knockoff, but maybe Power Punch instead of knockoff, like it has Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and like something. I don't know. But overall, I'm also trying to think about like how Snorlax would have done. I think it could have endured the Power Punch, maybe even a Mach Punch then. Actually, there's a lot of damage though. It's a tough call. So Evasion's going to raise, and it's just free minimizes here. So Ferrothorn doesn't get a chance to do anything. Gyro Ball really wouldn't threaten Drifloon, I don't think. Yeah, Drifloon's just too scary right now, so brings in the Ferrothorn, whiffs hard on the Ferrothorn, does not respect the Drifloon, and it's going to be a lot of minimizes and a stockpile. So this Drifloon greatly set up right now. Full evasion, stockpile, what's next? I mean, just doesn't want to deal with the Swords Dance, goes for the Baton Pass, or doesn't want to deal with Aegislash, goes for the Baton Pass, and I guess maybe afraid of a Shadow Ball, depending on what set that could be. I want to see a physical Aegislash though, because physical Aegislash is best Aegislash. And now this is interesting. Now we're in some kind of setup war here. Kingdra, is this going to be Critdra? Please be Critdra. So Aegislash anticipates a hit, goes for the King Shield. Kingdra going to Focus Energy. So Drifloon didn't set up a Focus Energy, just got the minimizes, got the stockpiles, goes into Kingdra. Kingdra now full on Critdra, most likely because of the item. Critical hit right there. Super amount of damage. Aegislash going for Swords Dance though. So now Aegislash at +4. It's got leftovers. It's going to be a tanky Pokemon. Kingdra, remember, Aegislash does have to hit through all that evasion. goes for the Shadow Sneak because Kingdra's just going to outspeed and KO anyways. So Shadow Sneak does land at the +4 against the +1 Kingdra. Good damage, but not enough, and Kingdra still in it. There's the Surf, and that is going to KO Aegislash. So now the Pokemon are dropping. They're going to be dropping pretty quick because I'd imagine this is speed invested Kingdra, just going for the damage, and there's Espeon. So Espeon's going to come in. There's the Dazzling Gleam. Going to avoid it. Dazzling Gleam would have messed it up, but that's where the evasion comes in. So Draco Meteor. Espeon's not a tanky Pokemon. Critical hit Draco Meteor. That's going to be ridiculous right there. Special attack doesn't drop because you're always critting, and that is the power of Crit Kingdra. So right now, we've been watching some work come across, and there's Altaria. Altaria does provide threat. Like, if any kind of pixelated move lands, Kingdra is out of this, but we do have evasion make it to where there's like a 40% chance or something that Altaria lands a hit. So Kingdra's going to outspeed and land the Surf. I don't get the Surf. I would Draco Meteor. Oh wait, no, you can't Draco Meteor Mega Altaria. Actually, good play right there. Never mind. Yeah, just anticipating the Mega, going for Surf instead of Draco Meteor because that Fairy typing, and just 2-hit KO. So we get a low end damage and then a high roll on the damage on that 2-hit KO. So it's Surf, Focus Energy, Draco Meteor. And what else? Because like it's resisted by dragons, or the dragon typing on its Surf. So that's going to be Draco Meteor. Conkeldur's going to avoid it. Conkeldurr goes for the Mach Punch. Mach Punch not going to do anything. Draco Meteor going to land again. And big damage right there with the Kingdra. That's going to be a KO. I mean, you cannot stop the Critdra once it's set up this hard. So powerful. So we're getting a lot of minimize and we already know that Ferrothorn's not going to be able to do anything. So GG. Okay, that was exciting. We actually watched the Drifblim be played a bit differently, because normally you think about opening up with Drifblim like, I'm just going to lead, I'm going to get my setup, and then I'm going to sweep. But this was actually a little more like waiting for the opponent to make a mistake. Going, well, Conkeldur's going to be physical. I mean, Mach Punch, Power Punch, it gave up the knockoff, it looks like. And because of that, it wasn't able to handle the Drifblim from its moveset. And then Drifblim took the risk, got it up, and then it was just a sweep from there. So GG. Good job right there. I really think this is a great way to start Fan Fridays, and we have more Fan Fridays coming up in a bit.